So I'm Dustin with Kruger Instruments and Kruger's Training Academy. Today we're going to be testing the pressure vacuum breaker. This is a Febco 1-inch. We're going to be utilizing the ASSE, IAMPO, ANSI Series 5000 March, so like the 5000-2022. The 3-valve test for the PVB. So this is not the single hose. I recently took a class with IAMPO like last week, and essentially what they did is if you wanted to do Philadelphia, you had to do the 3-valve or 3 or 5-valve, but the multi-hose test. But for the PVB, they said like the single hose was fine. But I noticed in the book there is a 3-valve test. So I'm actually just checking it out today. I have not looked at this at all. We're just kind of winging it. And then we have the 3-valve kit. It's a Kruger Instruments TK3. It's basically the 2-valve kit. If you check out our other videos, we have a lot of them with the 2-valve kit. But it has the extra 3rd valve. So you have high, low, and bypass. It just tees it off. Has a little thing so like if you want to, you know, like hang it on something, you can. Typically for the the multi-hose test, you don't have to make it level with anything. So it's a little heavier, but you don't have to worry about it being level. First step, I know what you're thinking, like flush the test cocks, but remember the first step is always notify, identify, inspect, observe. Make sure you know what those mean as well. For ASSE, they kind of have like a whole long thing talking about like site issues and everything. Most of the courses, they say just do notify, identify, inspect, observe, or something similar. If your proctor says like, no, I want you to say like, hey, I'm Dustin, I'm here to test your backflow, I'm going to shut your water off. Totally fine. Defer to what the proctor tells you to say, but notify, identify, inspect, observe is a very common one. Next, you're going to install test adapters. If you notice, this one already has them. Most of the Watts products for the lower diameter, like lower meaning like 1/2 to 2 inch, they'll already have them. It just has to be 1/4 inch flare. If you come across one in the field where it's like 1/4 inch, for the smaller ones, it's pretty much always going to be 1/4 inch. Larger RPs and double checks, they might have 1/2 inch raw end ones. But for us, they're already there. Some proctors, they say you want to make sure you remember the steps. So you say like, oh, I'm installing my test adapters. They might have a problem with that if you don't say that, but sometimes they don't really care if you say it or not. Next, you're going to flush the test cocks. Open and close 1, open and close 2. Since there isn't a differential pressure relief valve, it doesn't matter what order you do them in. Some of the other ones, like the double check and the PVB for ASSE, they say like open 2 with trickle flow, then open and close 1. That's not required for the PVB. You just kind of open and close them. Remove air inlet canopy. In your class, they might not have any canopies. Totally normal. They might want you to say, I'm removing the canopy, like verbally. They might not be worried about it at all. For us, we have one, so we just removed it. But make sure you're either verbalizing that or just like, if they don't want you to verbalize it, then don't. Close high and low valves on your kit. Again, we have high, low, bypass. High is on the left side of the kit, so that's pretty typical for any differential pressure kit. The high will be on the low. It does have to be marked. Sometimes it's marked like in a weird way on the back. Ours is marked on the face. High side is on the left, low side is on the right. So you close high and low, close bypass. Again, I've never done these procedures. I'm just reading them off of here. So if I make a mistake, I'll just tell you I made a mistake. High hose, low hose, and vent hose. You have to have 3 hoses. They are typically different colors. We have the high is red, low is blue, vent is yellow, or bypass is yellow. It's pretty normal. If you have a super old kit, it might say something different. If you have a Watts TK9A, I know they actually do have it. I think high is yellow. I'm not particularly sure with that. So if you have an older school Watts one, you have the newer ones, they usually do the red, blue, yellow that way. Red is high, low is blue, vent is yellow. You attach high hose to test cock 1. Attach low hose to test cock 2. Open open test cock 1 first. Your bypass is open, so water's gonna come out of your bypass hose when you do this. Open and close high valve. Or no? Oh, bypass should be open. I have bypass. Open test cog 1, open high valve. Bleed air, close. Open test cock 2. Open your low valve. Close. Close shutoff 2. So you leave the shutoff 1 open. Closed bypass. Open low valve. So open, closed bypass, open high valve. Just reading off the sheet here. Open low valve, it goes down to 0. Close high valve, close low valve. So oh, we're doing a tightness of shutoff 1 test. Okay, so everything reads 0. Close shutoff 1. If gauge reads steady at 0, that means that shutoff 2 is tight. Or shutoff 2, yeah. Oh, so if shutoff 2 is leaking, your gauge will go up because there's flow through the assembly. So basically, because shutoff 2 is tight, shutoff 1, it's reading 0. You say, okay, that means that shutoff 2 is tight, because if shutoff 2 was leaking, the water would be running through the valve, meaning that you have a differential pressure. This is cool, I like it, but I enjoy it because it's new, but I've never heard of anyone testing a PVB this way. In the class, again, in the IAMPO class, if you're an IAMPO, PHCC, a UA local, whatever you're doing for ASSE, they generally let you do the 1-hose PVB instead of this multi-hose PVB. The 3-hose PVB, I think, is just like an auxiliary thing. Test number 2, tightness of the check valve. Open shutoff 1, open bypass. You open low valve, bleed air, close. Since you're getting a differential pressure, you got to make sure it's in a descending scale. Most of all these gauges, the diaphragm style ones, if it's not digital, it's only accurate going down. They call it descending scale accuracy. So this is 2.0, 1.9-ish. That's your tightness of the check valve. If you get a number, you write that on your test report. Next, you do the air inlet opening. So you're essentially probably just going to do a 1-hose air inlet opening. So you do a tightness of shutoff, then a 2-hose test on the check valve. Close test cock 1 and 2. Remove hoses. Attach high hose to test cock 2. Open test cock 2. Open high, so bypass should already be open. Bleed air, close. Center your, so it says center differential gauge. You also want to make sure all of your hoses are level with whatever you're testing as well. Close inlet shut off. Then you do a standard 1-hose relief valve opening point. So you open up your high. Bypass is already open. Dropping, dropping, dropping. You want to get the point at which this opens. So 3.1 is what I was getting. That's your relief valve opening point. So you do a 2-hose test on the check valve, tightness to shut off 2 to make sure that that 2-hose test is good. Then you do the 1-hose test on the relief valve. It doesn't clearly say to confirm that it opened fully. Typically the AVB test will say like observe if it opened fully. This one does not say that. So you just say it passed. Close test cock 2. Remove hose. Open all valves on test kit to drain water. So you want to make sure that your kits, if you're leaving the hoses on, you want to make sure that the hoses are all good to go. Restored to pre-test condition. ASSE is big on that. They say just if shutoff 1 was closed when you got there, then you leave it closed. For us, it was open, so you go ahead and open shutoff 2. And then replace the air inlet. Again, if you don't have air inlets on your exam, they might want you to verbally say it, like I'm replacing the air inlet. For ours, we do, so we go ahead and replace it. And that's good. So appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. If you have a comment or you notice an error or something like that, feel free to comment. A lot of times people have the same question, so if you comment a question, I can answer it. And then like the same people watching it 6 months later can like find the comment and see the question and answer immediately. So it helps a little bit, also helps the channel. Definitely like and subscribe. If you're interested in these Kruger Instruments kits, check out our website, KrugerInstruments.com. If you have a test school, we do have an affiliates program where you can resell the equipment. Or if you're a tester and you're just prepping for an exam and you haven't chosen a test kit, definitely check us out. We're pretty popular around the country. But anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in.